What is going on, everyone? Happy 2021. Here we are. Despite everything that's happened last year, we're ready to kick this one off. Before I ramble on for an hour without knowing what I'm talking about, can anyone tell me in the comments if you can hear me, if the audio is clear, if you can see me? I don't have to look good as long as you can see me. Let me know. Also, shout out to my amazing coffee mug here. I think this deserves a special recognition. Cool. Everyone's in the house. Where are you guys watching from? Leave that in the chat as well. I'd like to know because I think we're probably global at this point. Got a bunch of people in chat. Okay, cool. We got Iraniel, we got Edan, we got TJ. Look at all these folks ready to make a change. Awesome. I'm just gonna wait for some people to drop by because usually people take a while. In the meantime, let me know in the comments where you're watching this from so I can get an idea of the sense of community we're building here. And then we will get started. Okay, this is going to be a strictly no bullshit, no fluff, no sales pitch anywhere in this whole thing. I want to give you guys some instruction on how I did this. I might have some instructions in the back. Now I erased them. Hopefully to help you change some habits in your life. Okay, we're going to give you some live examples of that as well. We've got Renil from St. John's, Newfoundland. Is it Newfoundland, Newfoundland? How do you pronounce that? Pretty sure it's Newfoundland, right? Where's everybody at? In the meantime, I'm just going to go open up the group here so I can see what everyone's... We got 99 people? Holy crap, that's a lot of people. Okay, that is crazy. That's crazy for an idea that I had overnight. You know what happened? I was just in the shower. It's like, what if I just help other people this year achieve their goals? What would happen? And then I sent the same message to like 6 of my closest friends, and all of them were like, yes, let's do it. I'm like, okay, I guess we're doing it. Let me just screen share a little bit so you guys can see what I'm seeing on my end. I also want to make sure that you guys can actually see once I share my screen. So let's see. Can everybody see my screen? From Pakistan, my mom is snoring now. That is hilarious. I hope you've got your headphones on or something. Don't get too excited during this live stream, okay? You might be getting too excited, but you might wake her up, and then your 2021 is not going to be off to a good start. Okay, well, one member is short of 100. That's pretty crazy starting off where we did, okay? We've got so many people with their goals. And by the way, shout out to everyone who got started before we even kicked this thing off. Like, you guys were ready to go before we even launched this challenge. So look at how many different stuff. We got a sugar, we got wake up at 6 in the morning. There was like a burn 1,000 calories. There we go. Holy crap. How do you burn 1,000 calories every day? That's 30,000 calories, man. That is amazing. That is awesome. Okay. Well, guys, I think we've got enough people on here. Let me just stop sharing my screen for a sec and we can get started right away. Now, how do I do that? That's the question. There we go. All right, guys. So today, what we're going to do is I'm going to help you with every piece of advice that you will need to launch your new habit, any bad habit you're trying to quit this year. I'm going to give you a blueprint based on what I've been able to do last year. So I just want to give you a quick recap of why I'm the one who should be telling you this stuff. If I seem like it, so let me know in the chat. But sometimes people tell me things like, oh, Yasir, you just have incredible discipline, or you know exactly how to do these things. I don't know how to do that, okay? When before this year, I was eating one whole box of Subway cookies every single day, okay? So I had no control. You asked, I think you've got Mr. Edan in the chat here. I went to university with him. Edan, how many cookies did I have every single day during university? It was at least 5, okay? Half my daily caloric calories came just from sugar, donuts, and stuff like that. So I gained a lot of weight around the belly area. Like, I'm not a particularly skinny. I'm not a fat guy, but like my fat stores in that area, okay? I wasn't really going to the gym. I was waking up at all sorts of weird hours. I didn't really have a productive routine or anything like that. And it just kind of felt like this drone walking around, right? And I tried these things time and time again. I would cut down sugar. I would do it in moderation, or I would reduce it, but it would never freaking work, ever, right? There you go. Mr. Edan he can account for my my sugar cravings there. So I love sugar. Okay. The other thing I love is fried chicken. I'm a huge fried chicken guy, and everything with meat, steak. In fact, my roommate and I, we used to live just off a steak that we bought off a superstore every single day. We just buy a steak, come back, grill the steak over and over again. So how did I get from that point to where I am now, where I don't eat meat, I don't drink caffeine? This here is decaf, so that much I can get away with. Don't drink coffee, no sugar, no meat. I woke up at 4 in the morning for 6 months straight. And then again, the year prior to that, I did a 30-day cold shower challenge in -30. And that was the first month that I was here in Canada. If you want to check out all these challenges, I have a playlist on my YouTube channel, specifically where I break down all these challenges. I've got a keto challenge, I've got a no sugar challenge, no social media challenge, all of those things. Now, I'm not someone who was trying to get fit particularly. I mean, I was like, if I get fit, that's great. Let me just see if I can show you that. What I was trying to do was change how I feel, okay? So this year, as a byproduct of quitting my sugar intake, let me see if I can share that screen with you. Not only did I mentally clear a lot of things up, but physically, like I don't realize what the physical change in me is, right? Because I'm just a skinny dude. But let me just show you what I was working with here. This is by no means some ultra super transformation here, but that's what we're working with. I don't know if you guys can see it, but you can see, not in an amazing six-pack shape or anything, but you had a lot of this going on here, just this whole wide fat gut situation. And all I did was completely eliminate sugar from my diet, completely eliminate my meat from my diet. This whole year I wasn't working out because of COVID. I only started working out in October, and this is the result of just that. So this is the importance of habit change, guys. What I want to show you, it's not, you don't have to do all these different things, like get on a perfect workout, get on a perfect diet. You make one small change and it can be really, really big impacts off that. So I want to show you how you can start doing those things, okay? Can everyone still see me? I'm kind of losing track here. What's going on? I ramble way too much, I've noticed. Give me 1 sec. Let me try to figure this out. Where did that stupid browser go? All right. I'm just going to assume we're live because I don't know what's going on in the chat here. All right, cool. Looks like we're good to go. So guys, without any more fluff, I want to get started and actually show you how to do this. I want to show you guys how to get started with your routine. Before we do, let me know in the chat what it is you're trying to quit or what habit you're trying to form, because I want to point out one important thing to you guys. And I've seen this in the live chat. In the Facebook group. A lot of people have set challenges, but a lot of their challenges are very, how do I say this? Not vague, but very all over the place. So for example, I want to quit sugar. I want to wake up at 6 a.m. I want to start working. All of these things are great on their own. What I want to show you today, how do you pick one single thing, and either quit that or develop that into your discipline. So once you have mastered that, everything else after that becomes easier. This is the hard part, guys. When we get started, all of us are like, I can do everything all together. We're excited, 2021, new year. I want to completely change my life. We try to change too many things and everything completely falls apart, okay? So right now, I'll actually do a quick screen share again. I want to point this out. If I go to the Facebook group here, okay, let's see, where did it go? There we are. If we go here, so I will have no fizzy drinks, no junk food. I will have oatmeal daily and breakfast. Like, this is too much going on, okay? All of this support my gym routine. Too much. Because if you try to keep track of how much fizzy drinks, how much junk food you're having, how much you're working out, what you're having for breakfast, it's way too much. You won't be able to measure it, and then it will fall apart. So if you're watching this right now, I want you to pick one single thing that you want to do. I'm going to wake up in the morning at 4 a.m. That's it. I'm going to quit sugar for the next 30 days. That's it. I'm going to quit fizzy drinks altogether. That's it. One very hyper specific thing. Now, if you wake up in the morning and your goal was, okay, I'm going to wake up at 5 in the morning, and then a byproduct of that is that you start meditating because you're up in the morning, or a byproduct of that is that you start working out. That's amazing, but I don't want you to start with that. The way we're going to do this, we're going to pick one thing. We're going to master that one thing for one whole month. Once you convince yourself, you develop the discipline. Oh, wow, I can actually wake up at 4:30 every single day. That's incredible. Let me start tacking on other things on top. So once you develop that willpower, once you develop that discipline, you will start adding things because it will start snowballing. That's how it will work. If you start throwing everything together, it will not work. The other thing is, I'm hoping to lose at least 5 kgs. How do you know your body is going to lose 5 kgs? You don't know that. You can't control that, right? So if you reach at the end of the 30 days, you're like, well, I guess I failed at my goals because I didn't reach 5 kgs. It's because you set a goal that is not under your control. You don't control how much your body loses. What you do control is the daily activity, the daily inputs you put in there to get a result, okay? So what will be the input for this person? The input will be to completely remove sugar, or to completely remove any junk food, or something highly specific, okay? So that's what I want to start you guys off with. First of all, everyone's going to need a notepad and a piece of paper. You will need it because I will ask you to post a picture of it. You can write it down on your computer right now if you're watching this at 1 in the morning, but you'll probably have to post it later in the group as well because it's going to be important. Okay, so first thing I want you to write down, 30-day challenge, one, and I can't say this enough times because there's so many people on the group who are on the grind. They're doing great things, but they're picking way too much stuff. One single thing, okay? The other thing is successfully completed my day one challenge of consuming minimum amount of sugar, okay? First of all, awesome. It's awesome that you're doing that. Minimum is a vague term. What do you mean by minimum? How much is minimum, okay? On this challenge, there is no in or out. There's no moderation, okay? There's not going to be one step in, one step out. You're going to go all in for 30 days, and then you will see how much you want to cut back. So there's no minimum amount of sugar, because 1 teaspoon becomes 2 teaspoons one day, and then the next day you're like, okay, let me just do a whole tablespoon, screw it, and then it goes right out the window. This challenge instead will be successfully completed one day without sugar. I want you to set goals that are genuinely scary. If they feel achievable, if they're easy, they're not going to leave a big enough impact. Small goal, small result. Big goal, big result. Okay, that's what we're trying to do. So pick one specific thing, and none of this moderation bullshit. Okay, you can say, well, Yasir, this study talks about moderation. That study talks about. If you're watching this right now, chances are moderation hasn't worked for you. Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to show yourself that you can do something for 30 days straight. You can resist the temptation. You have a list of amazing people on here who are doing the same thing. Just do it for 30 days. You will be profound. You will be amazed by what you're able to accomplish. And then everything else after that will become super easy. So none of these half-ass goals with one step in there, one step out. You want to be super, super particular, and you want to be 100% in it, no moderation. Okay, this is a 100% in and out. Let me know in the comments. Say yes if this makes sense. Because the last thing I want is some people to be like, well, instead of 3 drinks, I had 1 drink today, or instead of 4 cans of soda, I had 1. No, we're going all out, and it's going to be super fucking difficult. It is going to be hard, but only for the first 7 days or 10 days, and then after that, it kind of starts coasting out. Let me know in the comments, guys, if this is making sense. And you'll also get used to my coaching approach, guys. I'm a very no bullshit, no excuse coach. Okay, I don't sugarcoat things. I don't try to say things to make you feel better. I care more about your results than I care about your feelings. And a lot of people can't handle that. That's fine. I want to make sure you get the transformation that you're looking for. Okay. So let's get started. We got a goal, specific goal. No moderation is going to be 30 days all in. Now I want you to get a piece of paper if you have one, and I want you to write something I call an excuse audit. Okay, so excuse audit, AUDIT. Let me see if I can open up a notepad or something here. There we go. So essentially, what is an excuse audit? An excuse audit is every single excuse that you will come up with to not do that thing. Okay. So for example, and I've had this happen. I've done this myself. A lot of people I've worked with have done this before. They'll quit sugar for a while, and then 4 days later, 5 days later, when shit hits the fan and things gets really really hard, all of a sudden they're like, well, you know what? I just want to enjoy my life. I don't want to be without sugar. I'll just have a little bit here, or I want to go and have fun with my friends. So let me just do it one day. I want you to make a list of those excuses beforehand. So when things get hard and all your rationalization starts coming up, your brain starts justifying these things, you already made a list of all those things and you have committed not to do it. So for example, if you are waking up at 4 in the morning and you're like, well, I could do this later, or I'll sleep in and in the afternoon I'll do that work. I want you to write every single excuse you will have. Okay, so let me just add that in here. Where is it? There you go. Excuse audit. There you go. This is the first thing I want you guys to do, okay? You set your goal already, one specific thing, measurable, write that down. Once you've done that, you will prepare an excuse audit. I want you to genuinely, in front of a notepad, sit down and write down every single excuse you will have during this challenge, okay? Every single excuse to back out of this challenge, because I will tell you, your brain does a phenomenal job of convincing you. Your brain is amazing at bullshitting you through shit, okay? Like, it's amazing. So I want you to make an audit of that, write 10, 15 different things that come to mind. What excuses will I make time and time again? And then for every single one of those excuses, I want you to write a plan of action. If I have this excuse, this is what I'll do. If I have that excuse, this is what I'll do, okay? So prior to this, you are preparing yourself for everything that could go wrong. And we'll talk about that in more detail. List those things out so that when you're doing this challenge and things get hard, you have nothing to fall back on. You can't say anything. You can't come on the Facebook group and say, hey guys, I really want to enjoy my life again. You are committing to something for 30 days and you're going to hold yourself to it. So I want you to write that down on paper and write every single excuse you have on there. I will ask you guys to take a picture of that and post it on the group as well, okay? Do that first. Everyone following me so far, I tend to ramble like a machine gun sometimes, so let me know if I'm going too fast for you. All right, next up we got. Okay. Number 2, it's going to be the prep work. A lot of us, we focus more on the end goal. Like at the end of the 30 days, I'll get here. The most important thing for you to do is to prep before you even start, which is why we're doing all this work. If you have the right system in place to get you started with a habit, believe me, all this stuff gets a lot easier. This is the thing that changed me from doing something in moderation, going back, with moderation, going back, to actually quitting all these things together. Like, I didn't think I could quit sugar my entire life, let alone quit sugar and meat and dairy and caffeine all together, right? That requires a system, which is what I'm teaching you. So number 2, preparation, okay? Yes, no sugar, perfect. That's exactly what I want to see. None of that half-ass stuff like, oh, I'll have 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. All in. I believe you can do it, okay? So what do I need to add? Okay, so if you're going to wake up at 4 a.m., do you need an alarm clock? Do you need something to wake you up? Do you need to put your phone outside so that it rings and you have to run outside to turn the phone off? What do you need to change about your environment to make it more conducive? Okay, the other thing is, what do you need to remove? For me, when I was cutting out sugar, the single thing that helped out the most was removing all traces of sugar from the house. What's that saying again? Out of sight, out of mind. You don't see it, you don't think about it. And for me, the best example I can think of is sometimes I'll go to the grocery store and I'll buy like a shit ton of vegetables and stuff, and I'll stash them down in the vegetable department, right? And then I'll completely forgot about them. And I'll discover them 2 weeks later when they've got completely rotten. Why? Because they weren't in sight. I couldn't see them. I wasn't thinking about it. A lot of your habits, they work the same way. The more you think about it, the more resistance you have. There's a great book on this called Atomic Habit that talks about how much exposure you have to people or how much exposure you have to something that's tempting will determine how much you follow on track with your discipline. So for example, if you were trying to cut sugar, but every single day you're in a bakery, every single day you're in the candy store, that's going to make it really difficult for you to resist those cravings. So you want your environment to promote your challenge. So if you were trying to quit dairy, remove all dairy from your house. And you have to have a positive environment that supports that. So ask yourself right now, again, piece of paper, preparation, what do I need to add and what do I need to remove to make this challenge happen? Again, do not skip these steps, because I know I watch a lot of these tutorials and people are like, hey, write this down, write that down. I do none of that stuff. I make mental notes. I don't remember any of it. I don't do any of it. And then 4 days later, I forget everything and everything tumbles down. Nothing happens. Okay. Write that down. What preparation do you need to have? Now, for me, when I was doing the 4 a.m. challenge, I actually bought myself an alarm clock. I put my phone, I've set a backup alarm on my phone, and I put my phone outside because I hate waking up and running outside and turning it off. But by the time I'm outside, I'm awake. With the no sugar challenge, there were just no sugar in the house. Strictly, I had a rule with my roommate: we're not allowed to bring any sugar in the house. And I never went to any candy stores or anything like that. Okay, so make those preparations in your system. Now, the other thing we're going to do is what we got here. Okay, this is the contingency plan. I'm just writing this down, guys, so you guys can follow. Okay, this is probably the most important thing you can do. Okay, if you're starting a no sugar challenge or no meat challenge or no workout challenge, you're going to have some days where things happen that are outside your control. And this is where people fuck up the most. Okay. Oh, shit. I got invited to this friend's house. I didn't know what to do. I don't know what to eat. I had to do that. Make a list of everything that can go wrong. Everything. Okay. So if you're working out and you've got kids in the house and they're taking up a lot of your time, you don't have time to go and work out for an hour. What's the backup plan? What are you going to do if that happens? Pretend like every single one of these things that you list down is almost for a fact 100% going to happen. So list down all the challenges. Well, I might have to go to my friends and I might have to not have anything to eat there that fits my diet, or I might snooze my alarm in the morning, or my alarm might not go off. All of those things, you want to write those down, okay? For every single one of those things that can go wrong. And by the way, fill this out 15, 20 pages, because you're going to be referring to this in the following month. When you wake up and you have this intense sugar craving because your family member cooked up something in the kitchen, you have that written down if it goes wrong, okay? And then once you've made a list of everything that can go wrong, right next to it, you will have a plan of action. This happens, this is what I'll do. This happens, this is what I'll do. So for every single one of those things that can go wrong, you will have a contingency plan. So notice what we're doing with this plan is every problem, every challenge, every excuse that we will ever have is front-loaded. We already are aware of it. We know what we're going to experience, so nothing is going to be a surprise. You're not going to show up one day and run into a challenge and be like, holy crap, how am I supposed to be dealing with this? Because you already made a list of those things. So this, for me, was a huge, huge game changer when I was quitting social media. So in January of this year, up until end of May, I think, I wasn't on Instagram or Facebook. I only got back on it because I launched my business. I help entrepreneurs price their services and I teach them about sales and stuff like that, right? So when I started doing that, that's when I got back on social media. Before that, you cannot trace anything on my Instagram prior to that in this year. The hardest thing for me was limiting the amount, limiting how much I check my phone. I was spending 9 hours staring at this thing. It's ridiculous. So I had to write every single thing that could go wrong. I wake up and I feel like I'm missing out, or I have to set my alarm. And then I knew what I'll do when those things happen, okay? So consider that, write that down. What you'll always come back on, and this is what I want to remind you guys, is why you're doing something, okay? And I know there's a lot of people on here who have goals, but they're more hobbies than goals. Like, I want to read 2 pages a day. And that's awesome, but is that really going to transform your life? Is that really going to change something in your life? Like, if I had to read 2 pages a day, I don't really have a why. Why do I have to do that? What's going to happen if I don't do it, right? So it has to be something that you genuinely want to do to change your life. Okay, we're trying to develop big things with our discipline here, really, really big things. So this goes back into our why, because every single time you stumble upon a barrier, you will go back to your why you're doing things. So for example, if for me, when I quit sugar, it was because I was having crashes in the middle of the day. I couldn't focus. I couldn't think about one thing. I couldn't be creative. I was working. I was working at a job that I didn't particularly want, and I wanted to move into my own thing. In order to do that, I had to be productive. But because I wasn't productive, because my sugar would just crash my energy, I had that why, right? If I keep going the way I'm going, my business will never take off the ground. So by quitting sugar, in a way, it led me to where I am now, where I developed the discipline to do all these different things. So remember your why, okay? Remember what everything that can go wrong, you have a backup plan. Now, for every single habit you set, it's really hard to do things 30 days straight without any sort of reward, right? Like every day feels like a grind. Every day feels like, holy crap, man, I just feel like shit. And that's going to happen, especially if you're quitting something like sugar, you're quitting something like smoking, you're quitting something like meat. You have done this maybe for 10 years, 20 years, your entire life. You're trying to unlearn all that, unplug all that. You think your body is going to be okay with it overnight or in a week or in 10 days? It's not. It's going to take a lot of time for your body to completely shift over and learn a new system, okay? So what you want to do is you want to reward yourself. You want to have a reward system. Now, this does not mean you can binge on whatever. If you're doing no sugar, you're still having no sugar. The reward is going to be in the form of a daily accomplishment checklist, okay? So what I want you to do is take a piece of paper if you don't have a calendar already, okay? What I like doing, you make a couple of these lines here like that. Let me show you in a bit. You kind of make something like this. And for every single one of them, I don't think it has 7 days of the week, but you'll have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Basically, you make a calendar out of it. And you want to pluck this thing on your wall, okay? So every day that you wake up, this thing is dead and center in front of you, and you're reminded of what your goal is. So on top, I'll write, for example, let's go here. We'll write no sugar or 30 days, okay? Every single day, your job is to come on here and mark that X. Next day, mark that X. Next day, mark that X. So when you wake up every day and you see this streak that you have accomplished, you will want to continue going on. If anyone's ever used Snapchat before, you know how addictive it is to use those streaks. You get the streak going like, holy shit, I got to keep sending more snaps. I got to keep sending this so the streak keeps going. This is a reward system in our brain, okay? It doesn't want to lose something we've built up. So when you wake up and you've got a day where a challenge that you've done, you've accomplished it, you're going to come back, you're going to mark your X at the end of the day, you build that chain. That is going to be your reward system, guys. Do not do this on your phone. Do not do this on your computer because you won't remember. Your phone has 50 bajillion other things on it that will distract you. This has to be front and center somewhere where you wake up. It's in my bedroom or in the bathroom or in the kitchen or whatever you might need to. And it is crucial. You need to have this. If you don't have any element of reward, this whole thing becomes a lot more difficult to stick through. Trust me on that. Trust me. If there is one thing that helped me get through this, it's the daily accomplishments, okay? So you will have this calendar. If you want, you can take a picture of your X every day, post it in the group, but that's what the group is for again, okay? So day 1, I did this. Day 2, I did that. Day 3, I did this. So you're going to have 2 of those things, and people will commend you for that. Hey, you're on day 5 of no sugar. How do you feel? We will support each other on this journey. That's how we will be able to tackle this together, okay? So make sure you've got this thing stuck to your door or your fridge or whatever. Let me know if this is making sense, guys. I want to make sure so far everyone else is following. All this information is being ingested well because I don't want to gloss over a lot of things that people have questions about. What else we got here? Oh, yes, there we go. Give me a yes in the comments, guys, if it's making sense. This is going to be a very engagement-packed group. By the way, we've got 100 people on the group. I guarantee you 90% of people won't do anything, and I will kick them out of the group, okay? Like I said, I don't have any tolerance for people who aren't about this. If you aren't, you don't want to do it, that's fine. This group just isn't for you. The last thing I want is to have 50,000 people on the group with 150 people actually doing something about it. So if you haven't made a post on the group just yet, if you haven't made a post about what you're doing, please make that post either today or in the next 3 days. All I have to do, I'll show you. Let's see, where is it? There we go. So if I go to the group here, right? If I write here, let's see. All right, Idan, okay? I can see every single post that Idan has posted. All I have to do, see, I can see day 1, I can see day 2, I can see day 3. All I have to do is punch in someone's name, and if I don't see posts here, that's it, you're done, you're out of the group, okay? It doesn't really take me a lot to do that. So the last thing I want is to accumulate people on this group who are just kind of lurking and watching or whatever. Okay, so that's made sense. One thing I want to tell you guys, and this is going to sound a little hippie, and maybe it is because I'm kind of a hippie. I went to a meditation retreat for 10 days where there was no reading, no writing, no communication, no technology. I was just stuck in my head the whole time. And what I learned from that approach was they taught us how to make the connection between our triggers and our behaviors, right? So for example, for me, when I was quitting sugar, I thought I just loved sugar. That's why I was doing it, right? But when you're without sugar and you don't have the option of taking sugar, put yourself in a third-person perspective and think about why you're feeling that craving. For me, I thought it was because I love sugary treats. But what I actually realized, I wanted sugar because I was stressed. I was stressed out of my mind. Every single time something hard would come along or something that I didn't want to do come along, I would go and reward myself with some cookies or some oatmeal bars or something like that. So I would feel good about myself, okay? So that was my trigger. Every time I was stressed, I would feel the need to have sugar. Maybe for you, it's something else. Could be a different trigger. So when you experience these things, I want you to make a note of this. I feel like doing this because I feel like that. If you're waking up in the morning and every single morning at 5 a.m., you feel like snoozing the alarm, okay? Reflect. Why do I feel like snoozing the alarm? Is it because I haven't gotten enough sleep? Is it because I don't really have much to do first thing in the morning? Is it because I don't really see the point of waking up in the morning? Why is it that I'm feeling the way I do? You make a list of those things. You make a list of the reasons you're feeling a certain way about certain things, and then you tackle them. So if you say, I want to snooze my alarm in the morning because I feel like I just don't get enough sleep. Okay, great. Now we know we need to get more sleep. Or I feel like I need to I want to eat sugar because I'm stressed out. Okay, I need to find something else to do when I'm stressed out. What else can I replace this with? This is a very high level of thinking, but you really have to recognize this within yourself. It took me years to recognize this within myself, okay? So you've got these things. Guys, let's just review real quick. You're going to start by picking a goal. One single goal for 30 days. And then you can add as you go once you develop discipline. All you're doing is for 30 days, convincing yourself you can do this for 30 days. Once you do that, you will build an incredible amount of self-esteem. You'll finally start believing in yourself because every time before you've set goals and you failed and your brain doesn't believe you anymore, every time you set goals, 30 days, just 30 days, commit to it, okay? Do that. Make a list of every single excuse you will have. So you'll have a excuse audit. Every single excuse you will have prior to starting the challenge and every single thing that you can say to yourself to counteract that, okay? Make a list of those things. Guys, please do not skip these steps. I'm telling you, it will bite you in the ass on day 14 or day 13 when things really start to get hard. Then you're going to prepare your environment. What do I need? What do I need to remove? Okay, this is going to be the most impactful thing that you will do. If there's something you're trying to avoid, keep it away from you. If there's something you're trying to incorporate, make it easier for you. If you're trying to work out every single morning, have your workout clothes ready the night before or your shoes lined up the night before. Make it as easy for you to jump into that activity as possible. Okay, so for me, when I used to wake up, I used to have my shoes and my gym stuff right next to my bed, put it on, head out the door, go straight to the gym. So your environment is going to be the next thing. The other thing is going to be your contingency plan. Everything that can go wrong, everything, and I mean everything that you can think of, write those things down, and then what you will do if those things go wrong, okay? What you will do when those things come up. And then remind yourself of why you're doing something, and have a reward system. So our reward system here is our habit change group, which I know for a fact in 30 days, people are going to have amazing results because I genuinely believe in you guys. And then have a calendar here where you will track all of your every day, your streaks, okay? Then what happens if you fail? You've done that already. And then you observe your triggers, okay? What is triggering me to do this? What is triggering me to not do this? Now, before we wrap things up, guys, there's a few things I want to mention. There will be some of you who fail, okay? And this is not something I want you to be ashamed of. The number one reason that people never get back on the wagon is because they get off the wagon once and then they think they can't do something and then they decide not to do it. Suppose you do no sugar for 7 days and you fuck up. Day 8, I want you to make a promise. Day 8, I want you to come on the group and I want you to say, today, it was a very challenging day. ABC happened. I actually ended up having a cookie. Tomorrow, I'm going to get started again. Tomorrow is going to be day number 9 or day number 8. I want you to be truthful. I don't want you to pretend like if you go out there and you say you failed or you're being challenged, you're going to look less. No, I want everyone to support your journey. Be truthful. Guys, I'm really struggling with this. I don't really know, or I'm having a big challenge. I'm not sure how to fix this, okay? Be truthful of that. You get one day to sulk, and the next day you're back. So today you missed your walk, next day you're back on the horse, okay? And you're going to continue on with that journey. The more time you spend thinking about, oh my God, I messed up, blah, 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 the more time you're wasting from moving forward. One of my mentors said, I never have a bad day. I have a bad half an hour. You had a cookie in the past half an hour. You know what? That half an hour is over. Continue on with your day, okay? So I want to instill this in you. Don't feel guilty about it, but at the same time, we're not using this as an excuse to, oh, I can fail and just tell people I failed and hop back on the thing. No. 30 days, convince yourself to do it. If everything goes wrong, if a meteor hits the planet and then you can't hit a workout, that's okay. You can forgive yourself, okay? One last thing I want to leave you with is just some instructions about the Facebook group itself. This is going to help you guys sort out your posts, okay? So when you go, this is how we're going to keep each other accountable. I want you guys every single day without fail, and I will keep track. Trust me, because I'm ADD like that. I want you to come in and write day 1, whatever challenge. So it could be sugar challenge, okay? Follow this format. And the reason you want to do this is because anyone else is seeing the group, they can see who else is doing a challenge similar to their challenge, okay? And then you're going to write your win for the day, whatever it might be. No cravings, feel great, whatever. This is going to be a no negativity group. So no something like, oh my God, this is so hard. I hate this. I will delete your post right away. I don't want any of this stuff here because one person complains, everyone else feels negative. Everyone else feels that vibe. The whole vibe of the group goes down. None of this stuff here, okay? Instead, what I want you to do is write challenge. Okay? Today, I felt like it was harder than usual. Any advice? Or whatever. I want you guys to use these 2 hashtags, okay? Because for me, if I have 100 people in the group, I can't go through everyone's wins one by one. I can just put in hashtag win. It will show me the entire column. If you are looking for people who have done a no sugar challenge, you can just write the word sugar and it will show you everyone who's doing sugar, right? So let's try doing that actually. Let's go in here. Let's write sugar. There you go. You got a couple of people on sugar already, okay? This is what I want you to do. I want to create a community here where people share what they're doing and they share their wins. Every single day, I want to see a win. If you can't think of a win, think harder because there will be a win. So day 1 of whatever challenge, just name it, no sugar challenge or read a book every day challenge or workout every single day challenge. I got a workout in, feel great. If you don't have a challenge, leave that out. But a win is absolutely necessary. So what I want to see at the end of the group is just this format. I'll post this format in the group itself so you guys can see it. And then we'll track our goals going from there, okay? Guys, I also don't want to overload you with information. So what I'm going to do is every Friday, I'll probably change up the timing just so it suits some of you guys in international times. I'm going to come on live every Friday just to kind of touch base with you guys. Okay, how is everyone doing after week 1? How is everyone doing after week 2? What challenges are you having? What questions are you having? So I want to provide you with some support as we go. I don't want to just start this challenge and, hey, good luck, everyone. Take care. Hope everything's fine. I will be doing this challenge with you. I actually started doing a a daily meditation challenge, but I think I'm going to switch that into a workout every single day challenge, because I feel like when I'm doing my priorities in my head, that is more of a challenge. I want to show up to the gym every single day. And if I can't show up to the gym, I want to go out for a run or do a workout in my living room, whatever it might be. Okay. Guys, that's what I had for you guys. What was most valuable for you? Please leave it down in the chat. Please engage with me so I know you've actually been listening and I haven't been talking to myself for the past 45 minutes, because that would be a complete waste of everyone's time. Let me know. What did you learn? What's the one takeaway you had? There you go. Contingency. Yes, Idan, you need to have one, my friend. And you will have things that go wrong. You will. It's a fact, right? I had time and time again where people would just bring stuff. The first day that I started my no sugar challenge, my colleague from Ireland, and I guess it's very fitting here that I have this little thing here. My colleague from Ireland, he brought these special Irish cookies or something the very first day that I started my challenge. So it was very easy for me to say, you know what? Let me just start tomorrow. My willpower would have gone right out the window. Perfect. Why am I doing this exactly? And you got to pick a goal. Imagine this, right? If you had to pick something that completely changes your life, wouldn't you aim bigger? Wouldn't you pick something that's a lot more impactful? So yeah, you need to have something that's big enough for you to do. Contingency plan is a very cool approach. Should help a lot. Yeah, Sarah. So I actually learned this from sales, my sales job. So they do something called objection blocking. So if you don't know what an objection is, if I tell you about my product and then the customer is like, wait, the price is too high. What do I do about that? So they would teach us, address the objections before the client has the chance to do that. So for example, if I know every single time I get on a call with a client and the client is going to say, this is too expensive, I will beat them to the punch. I'll say, hey, blah, blah, this is my product. And by the way, a lot of the clients that I speak to, they think my product is really, really expensive, and it is on the higher side. Can I just explain to you why, even though it's expensive, it's worth your time or worth your money? And then I will explain it to them. So before the excuse comes up, before the objection comes up, I get rid of it. So I own it. I know how to tackle it. And it's the same logic here, and it works remarkably well. The excuse audit. Yes, Renil, this is something that I found to catch myself with my own bullshit. And you will bullshit yourself so much. Like, how many times have you set an alarm for 8 a.m. and you slap that snooze button? That's you bullshitting yourself. That's you tapping out on your goals. We don't want to tap out on our goals just because things get hard. And things will get hard, guys. I forgot to mention this. For the first 7 to 10 days, it's probably going to be the hardest thing. After 10 days is this downward decline of like, this kind of become a routine. By the time you hit 30 days, you're almost not going to think about it. 60 days, it's going to be well set in your routine. I've got a video on my channel. Check it out. I don't know where it is, probably in the description or something, on my no sugar challenge. And I did it for 60 days. And you will see the trajectory of how I felt during it. I'll link it down in the description as well. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I think everyone knows what to do. Day 1, I want you guys to take a picture of everything we talked about. Just make a list of these things and put a picture of your contingency plan, put a picture of your excuse audit, any one of those things, so I actually know you've taken what you've learned here and put it into action. Post a picture, and we will start day 1 today. Except the people who started 3 days earlier, like Idan. Okay, way to make all of us look bad, dude. What is your morning routine, Yasir? If you could tell us briefly. TJ, you honestly don't want to know my morning routine. I work for myself. I don't have a full-time job. I'm an entrepreneur, so I can kind of wake up at 4 in the morning and film a video. I think I'll probably sleep at around 5 a.m. and I'll wake up at 12 p.m. and I'll work for a few hours and I'll sleep again in the evening and I'll wake up again. It's all over the place, dude. But I think what I've done really well is compartmentalize my time. I know if I wake up in these hours, I want to accomplish these things. Do I recommend that for any sane person? Absolutely fucking not, because I don't think normal people can do that. I still think I'm trying to figure out my morning routine. And if I told you to follow my morning routine, I'd be doing you a disservice, TJ. So I hope this guys help you out. I hope this helped you out in terms of getting you started on your routine. I will be ending this live stream now. If you're watching this later on, make sure to let me know about your contingency plan, all those things. Okay. Day number 1, guys, of day 30. I hope you are excited. You better be excited. Day 1 of 2021. Let's see some big wins in the group, and I will see you guys later. Oh, also, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. What the fuck, guys? I've been sharing all this value with you guys and no one's subscribing. Subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be putting a lot of videos around this exact same topic coming in the future. Anyway, take care.